Good morning. Welcome to Morning Brew with your girl Germaine. And guess what day it is? It is Friday. And for those that already know, and for those that don't know, today is Authors Brew Friday. It's when we bring a special author in studio with us to really be able to talk about their journey, the power of their story, and how they can bring you into their world, right? So today we do have a special guest in studio. She has literally been a part of the HOV publishing family for years. We published her book some years ago and it's still selling like majorly, but that's because she is somebody major, okay? All right. So, before I bring her up, I just want to tell you a little bit about I want you to tell you a little bit about her story. I'm not going into the details of her story because that's why I have her here. I'm going to let her tell it. But I do want to just tell you a little bit about just to let you know what a special treat you're in for. And so, but before we do that, I just want to invite everybody that's new to Morning Brew with Germaine. Thank you for joining the community, stopping by, having coffee with me, tea, juice, or water. Maybe you're drinking a smoothie, whatever you might be drinking today. It's okay. Everybody doesn't drink coffee. I understand that. But if you give me a second, I'm just finishing up mixing up my cappuccino. I've been drinking, hazelnut cappuccino all week. So here we go. Um, so let's talk about this. Okay. As those that are coming in, it's okay. You can join in on the conversation with us if you have questions. Please just let me know you're here. Let me know what you're drinking. But let's get into today's brew. Um, Authors Brew Friday. You know, it's a fresh pour from a powerful pen. That's what I say. So in today's brew, it's going to be all about Angelic Kreations. And we have the author and the creative visionary in studio with us, Karen, air quotes, Angelic Yelverton. And so in today's brew, it comes with rhyme, restoration, and radiant purpose. We welcome Karen Angelic Yelverton, an award winning poet, educator, curator, and community builder whose life works is as impactful as her pen is powerful. Karen is the founder and creative director of Angelic Kreations and Yelverton Kreations, two platforms where poetry meets purpose and art becomes a tool for empowerment. A proud daughter of Brooklyn, she is a storyteller from for the people, infusing every verse, event, and program with love, legacy, and liberation. So let me not keep her waiting. Let me bring Karen up into the conversation. All right. Hey, Miss Karen. What are you drinking?
I have a little tea here. And
Okay.
I was a little confused because when you come to the morning brew, you have to be prepared.
Let me tell you,
And so
listen.
I was so confused and this is how important things are for me with branding and what we talk about. I didn't know if I should use this cup, which was gifted to me by one of my very dear
Okay.
friends,
I love
right?
it. I
Yes,
love
and she's
it.
an author too. You see how I love to plug people? It's in me.
Yes.
I can't help it.
Plug away.
Or if I should go with my Good Morning Gambia. So I have both just to make sure I represent it for both, right? We gotta go Africa and we gotta still bring it back home. So
I love
what you
it.
gonna do? What you gonna do?
Listen, I can't wait for my morning brew mugs to come in. Yes, merchandising is
Oh,
on the way. Merchandising is on the way. So
I
I
love
cannot
it.
wait.
Yes, yes.
So, how are you today? We've been planning this for some time now.
Absolutely. And I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah,
When you just wake up and you just you just come as is. And
that's it.
it's time to brew. It's
Hey,
time to, it's time to brew with my boo, Germaine.
yes. I love it. I love the energy. And this is exactly who you are, just bringing the laughter, the joy, the smile is so infectious.
Thank you.
But that's what you do across the world,
Thank
nations.
you so much. Thank you. And I love I mean, like you said, we've been doing this for some time now.
Yeah.
So this is it feels like I'm at home because,
Oh my
when you're
gosh. I
doing
love that.
interviews and I have to be careful because, we've all been through things in our life, right? But this is, I would say, this is one of the happiest times for me right now because, personally, some things I've gone through. So, shout
Yes.
out, so we could get that out. Shout out to all the Scorpios. Shout
Okay.
out to my mom, Betty, because this is her month. My mother was born on the 18th, and she also passed in November 2018. And
Mm.
so all these numbers are connected in a special way. And you were there through that process of me writing and publishing my book and being able to, how can I say, think outside the box and
Yes.
attain my visions, dreams, and goals.
Yes.
You
Yes.
help with all of that. And so it's a pleasure to be here today. And I just want to encourage those that have lost a loved one or a parent to just uplift their name and to keep going in a positive way, because that's a little bit about what we're going to do today, because it's a part of my
That's
story.
that's it. That's exactly what we're going to do today. So, I want you to just have the freedom and the flexibility to share your story, bring everyone into your space because it is powerful. Just the work that you do, your
Thank you.
mission, your purpose. So, let's talk a little bit about the birthing of Angelic Creations.
Well, that I would say I did not realize exactly what I was birthing at the time, right?
Mm.
Um, Being a caregiver for so many years, taking care of my mother and my uncle. Shout out to Uncle Aaron, because I don't ever want him to think I'm leaving him out as well.
Oh.
When you learn what you're that you're on assignment and you have to do certain things and you're chosen to do those things, you have a choice. You can
Absolutely.
either take forward to do it, or you can't. And what ended up happening through that process was a lot of writing.
Mhm.
The first time I lost somebody to, I would say, cancer was a dear friend of mine. Her name is Tamika Williams. May she rest peacefully too. And I don't want
Mhm.
people to, in this interview, when they hear me talk about people that have transitioned, it's a part of life, right?
Absolutely.
But in my culture, the way I was raised in my culture, we weren't taught to necessarily celebrate it. It became a burden, and it's a burden that can really take over someone's life in a negative way. So Angelic Creation was born before I knew it was born, and in a sense where, as a writer and always wanting to, not realizing it was poetry, we thought it was all rapping. Everything was rapping back then. So when I look back in old books and I see writings of things that I've done, I'm like, oh wow, okay, so I have been doing this for some time now. But when I came back to New York City, um, after my education in Eastern Michigan and in Los Angeles, I had to figure out how I was going to not just survive but thrive. And so
Yes.
Angelic Creations became a powerhouse creative production agency that blended art, entertainment,
Mhm.
and innovation together. So
Okay.
it became a one stop shop. But it started with my angelic angels who were writers where I was teaching. And first I gotta I gotta do my more shout outs, because we were connected through Sister Rhonda and
Yes.
my dear heart, yes. And so she introduced me to you, and
That's
that's
right.
how part of Angelic Creations said, see, I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing here. Let me get my little tea, because y'all don't even know she's very clever. She's very clever. Angelic Creations was officially stamped when the book was produced,
Wow.
because it then brought it to the level where it needed to be. Meaning, I was in the schools. Shout out to Man Up Inc., of
Yes.
course, about 25
Yes.
years in the business. And because of them, I was able to be inside of the schools. But it was a lot of programming that was for the men, right?
Mhm.
For the young boys, which is a necessity, right? But the girls would always say, what about, females, we want something for us as well. And so as I produced this programming, it was accepted in the school. But during that time, the girls went through so much. I mean, we're talking about students that are hearing gunshots outside their school and they have to duck under the desk. We're talking about a group of young queens that lost their assistant principal when that book was produced. So
Oh
there
wow.
was no way that that wasn't going to start. So Angelic Creations was birthed from all of those things, and finding a way to push through to be able to deal with everyday life with what I had to handle, which I accepted the challenge every day, which was being a caregiver.
Okay. Okay. Real quick, I'm over on Instagram and I'm getting a message that the volume is too loud. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Am I too loud?
No, she
Oh,
said she's hearing music, but there's no music playing. So I want to make sure everybody's able to hear okay.
okay.
But let me know if you guys can let me know if the sound is getting better or if you're hearing music in the background. Okay. I just want to make sure that everything is off. There is a song saying Good Morning Sunshine. I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. So when I did the flyer, I
Mhm.
connected that flyer to the thing, but I only sent that to you on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't. Good Morning Sunshine. I
It's
don't
just
know.
a
I just want to
flyer
make
that
sure.
that was created.
I'm gonna close out, make sure things are closed out because it's gone. I
Okay.
reloaded.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And that's N_MNYC. Thank you so much for helping us out here with any technical difficulties we may have.
Yes. Yes.
I love community. I love
Yes.
community. You're big on community.
Yes. Because my people don't play. They're gonna let you know
I
right
love
away.
it. I love it. That's the first I've heard of that. So I'm glad we were able to fix
Yeah.
that. So let's get back into this conversation.
Yes.
And we also have over on YouTube, we have, I'm not good with saying people's names. So I'm going to try this. JYOTI.
Okay, yes. I know who
Okay.
that is my I would say my buddy partner that we are connecting in business as well. And so
Great.
yes.
Thank you.
Peace,
Thank you for
Queen. How
chiming
are
in.
you?
All right. So now we have Angelic Kreations and Yelverton Kreations. So what's the difference between the two?
Well, I would say it's a conglomerate that works together.
Yes.
But Angelic Kreations was birthed first. Yelverton's Kreations was dedicated to my mother and my uncle when they transitioned.
Yes.
And what I do is I work with women of the mothers of the movement, and these are mothers that have lost their children to gun violence. And so that is another assignment that I know that I'm on. And these are things that we've seen, and I know these are tough topics that everybody does not feel comfortable conversing about, and that's okay.
But we have
Exactly.
to. People
Exactly.
are really hurting. People are really going through some stuff. And you know what? It's good to acknowledge it.
Yes.
It's good to let people know we stand with them.
Yes.
Even if we don't understand, we stand with them. So
yes.
talk about it.
That is so, it is so important for me because these mothers are resilient, and fathers, because it's parents that are involved in this. Yes. And the fact that they are able to overcome and live through another day and get laws passed because they didn't realize that they were chosen for this mission. So how can I not do my part? So it gives me a sense to let me know when I get up every morning that I have nothing to complain about because I still have life and I still have breath. You asked me before, people want to know what fuels you. Life itself. Yes. The highs, the lows, the lessons. And that's why I just try to treat every experience as a classroom. So that way I could be a student for life and a teacher at the same time. So the difference between the two is I get to just expand the work. I get to now, say, okay, this is the nonprofit that is focused on this part of the community internationally as well, but then also focus on the youth and connecting the gap between the two. And then you have programming when you go inside of the schools, and then you're actually working and you're doing poetry on demand, and so it's all connected because a lot of times we try to limit ourselves.
That's right.
I am unlimited.
I love
but
that.
A lot of times we don't want to say that. Well, no one else is going to say it for me. So if I don't say it, it won't be said. And so what I realize is that no matter how big you get, look at the amazing WNBA player, right? That's now modeling, right? Look
Absolutely.
at Taraji P. Henson. All these people that have Serena and Venus,
barriers.
They have broken barriers, and they still talk about them like they didn't do nothing.
But you know what? We never get a fair chance. That's why we can't focus on that. We just have to be. We just have to be,
Absolutely
because
not.
they're watching.
Exactly.
They
But
see the
it's for
success.
I try to do that so the others that are watching and the youth
Absolutely.
know that we know it's real. Because
Absolutely.
they think that getting on the phone and doing a few videos and going viral is the way of the world. And it's nothing wrong if using social media for your benefit, but just knowing that it's not the only benefit that you have.
That is so interesting you say that, because my coffee brew yesterday, my topic was really centered around the algorithm. The algorithm is not our assignment.
No.
It's not our assignment.
Yeah.
So don't get the algorithm twisted with your purpose.
Yeah.
Use it to help purpose move forward. So, but
and I'm so glad you said that, because I want to add to that. What I love to tell people is, what is your definition of success? So, you know how you said, I'm smiling and I'm happy. It's because I love what I do. It's not a job for me. The fact that I get up every day and I'm able to do it. Do you know how many people are miserable? I mean, miserable, And so what I do is that's why I can't take it personal. If I happen to jump on the New York City subway during rush hour, I know the energy is going to be different. They're coming from a whole, and it's not everyone, but they're coming from a whole different scenery than what I've seen for the day. Whatever that may have been, whether I'm working with the youth, whether I'm volunteering, because they love to say that artistry is dead and, we're broke poets and things of that nature. But I just love to embrace the positive. But I don't run away from speaking on the things that we have to change, because there's so much going on and everybody has a microphone. So I love doing these interviews, but I also get nervous. Like, I can't do this with everyone, because truth be told, it was an interview that I did years ago that was used against me in a situation where they said, well, she said this. What do you mean?
Wow.
It's like I said, we just have to always be mindful of how we move, because we move with purpose.
Absolutely.
So when you move with purpose, that makes them nervous. Oh, I can't help it, girl. I can't help it.
Listen. You all up in my space. Take a pause, everybody, so we can pour into purpose during this morning brew. So let's keep pouring into purpose, right?
Yes.
When did you know? So listen, when did you know that you had such a fire for what it is you do today? Such a passion for it. When did you know as a little girl? When?
I would say I wore many hats, and I'm thankful that there's people I grew up with that are still in my life to this day. Like, my mom was great at picking people. Like, my mom basically picked my sister, my best friend, like, she was like, I love her. You know what I mean? Like, she knew. And it wasn't even a question. I think sometimes I used to be like, Ma, you love her more than me? You gonna tell her more than me? Like, she would be like, yes, because it wasn't in an offensive way. It was just that she loved her and saw the good in her, and knew that by showering her with that will automatically make us bond the way that we did. But then I had other people where I went to school with, Janet and Hazel. They are still in my life, and they are big sisters, aunties, but I went to both Catholic and Baptist school because my mom wanted me to see the difference, right? And so during that time, we did some writing, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know. I didn't know what you were doing, right? I didn't know. It was just writing, and that's the importance of going to school, being able to write, and not just being on the computer. Writing and reading gives you imagination, so you can create what you need to create, because your story is your story. And if you don't tell your story, they're gonna make one up.
Absolutely. The power of one story. Guys, we always talk about that here on Morning Brew.
Yeah.
There's power in your story. And literally, you took a pen, your story, to write out what you are living today, and giving others the opportunity to come along with you. Because your first book, I'm going to pull it up on the screen again. Your first book, Angelic, Kreations, Poetry Between Sisters. It's not just you. It's the young voices that you brought together collectively to be able to share in this story.
Yes.
You want to talk a little bit about the inspiration behind even the vision behind the why.
Thank you so much. As we touched on before, but I would just say it was born out of sisterhood, and survival. I would say SNS. And it was about the conversations that we had with women, the ones that we whisper, the ones we cry through. I mean, so many, the ones we celebrate out loud, the ones we're afraid to celebrate out loud.
Absolutely.
And I wanted readers to walk away just feeling seen and heard and appreciated and connected. It's not just poetry, it's therapy for some. It's truth, it's love between souls who understand the struggle and the shine. But it's not just for sisters, it's for
That's
all,
right.
because we all came from a woman. The
I
line is,
love that.
it's a reminder that, womanhood is the root of humanity. And a lot of times we forget that. And so there's so much going on in my head throughout the day that the writing is just, it's healing for me. It's comforting, whether you're male and female,
That's
we
beautiful.
come from the female energy, and we're nurturers no matter what, whether you have children or not. We're givers, the vessels of life. Like, you can't, without us, you can't. And it honors that essence. And I love the fact that respect, dignity, empathy, all of that, we heal women in our
Absolutely.
generation. And words are so powerful. People would always say, words can't hurt you, words will get you killed, and
Yes,
so
they will.
I have to control, because I didn't realize, shout out to Tank and the Bangers, one of my favorite groups. That's where the Good Morning Sunshine is coming from. And my
Okay.
sister Naila's like, I hear Good Morning Sunshine. It was for her to get her Good Morning Sunshine. That's why. But
That's it.
so they say, she said, that the tongue has the most muscles, and
Mm,
it's so powerful. And so for me, I have to be mindful, because we see so much. Everybody has a microphone, but everybody's not saying the right stuff. But
that's
because
right.
everybody has a microphone, it's like, who do you tap into? So we end up tapping into something that is familiar with us, or something we agree with, instead of something we can learn from. And
Absolutely.
so, to try to avoid that noise, I rather put the pen to the paper and write, versus me trying to listen to all these voices and all of these people
That's
speaking.
good.
And that's why I'm so thankful for people like you, and people that have helped me through this process, because they don't understand me, but it's not to be understood. The work has to be
Hey, that's
done.
it.
The work has to be done.
Absolutely. Listen, your pen, your voice, your story has taken you all the way to the United Nations to speak. I tell you, it's unlimited. So when I really, especially as a publisher, being able to talk to people and really express the power in their stories when they think nobody wants to hear it, they don't think it'll be effective, you know, it's really what you do with it. But the first and foremost thing is let it be therapeutic for you if it's that type of story, but let it be something to help you if it's that type of story, to be able to propel forth. If it can help you, it can definitely help somebody else. I'm gonna leave it there. It can help somebody. So talk about that journey, even being invited to have the platform to speak at the United Nations, because you walk places, you've been places that some can only imagine. They'll never think they can get there. And here you are, and you are so, one would not know how powerful you are sometimes just looking at your little small petite frame, right? But you allow your voice to be heard. And the power's in your voice. You allow your voice to be heard, the words that come out, and how you really affect change in the lives of people. That's my dog. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
She must hear somebody. But go ahead. Talk about that journey, that experience.
Well, and thank you for that. I had to learn to take compliments, because
Mm,
doing the work is what you love to do, but then you don't realize that you can stop and be in the moment and
you
appreciate
have to.
what the
Have
creator
to.
has bestowed upon you. So thank you. But it's a lot of work. I want to be clear on that. It is a lot of work. It is not pretty. Every day to wake up and just know you're on the grind, because there, and I don't want to sound like um discouraging in any way. I just want to be truthful. But
No, be honest.
there's no days off. That's why it's best to love what you do. Because
Because then it doesn't feel like work.
right, it doesn't feel like work. And then you can incorporate your sunshine into, into your work time.
Exactly.
And then if you're able to do that, it makes it just a beautiful situation. So for me, and also it's so important for me to recognize people that have helped me along my journey, because there's so many people behind the scenes that have made a phone call, but I had to answer the call, so they made the call, I answered, and I was ready to go. I mean, some things last minute. So I'm so thankful for those experiences, because there were others that you think are going to make a call that won't, because they weren't supposed to make the call.
Absolutely.
So the call for the United Nations, the first one came from a lovely woman who works at the New York City Commerce of Chambers, the Black Commerce of Chambers. And she called to say that they were having a meeting at the United Nations. And she heard about my company. She knows I work with the youth, and would I be willing to join them for lunch? Yes. And of course I would be obliged, why not? And so it was literally, I had an hour to get there, right? But it's New York City, baby.
Let me tell you.
It happen. It doesn't matter. We're going to make it happen. So I had a friend, shout out to my brother Rod. He drove me there, I was like, you have to get me there. We need to get there. So I got dropped off, went there. Queen, I walk in, it's all these constituents from the United Nations. Mama Momentu, who was from Sierra Leone. And we are just having this lunch, and all of these people are around. And so I'm just like, okay, this is great. And I had my books. I wasn't leaving home without my books.
I'm serious.
I always got you with me, right? So I had my books with me, and I conveniently volunteered to do a poem, and once I did the poem, I was locked in. Because it's always also about taking advantage of your opportunities.
Absolutely.
Because if I just sat there, like you said, if you look at me, people will say, oh, what's she gonna do? Who's that little girl? Oh, she's cute. I used to be that small when I was that young. I get all those things, right? But when I speak, then it's like,
well, exactly. Take notice.
Look, they may. Let me take a sip of tea, because and I'm thankful for that, because it's almost like the calm before the good storm. And so, that's how it happened with United Nations. And then another time, like I said, you just know when you're on this mission, So after that happened with United Nations, I've been locked in. And I just have to say, I've been so thankful for, I want to give some shout out to everybody that's watching. Stacy, love you. To all the girls that are checking in, I love y'all. When it came to Opuli, it was my brother's restaurant. He has a shout out to Jasmine's. He has his own restaurant on Restaurant Row. And he called me on the phone and said, I don't know where you at, sis, but I know you like this type of stuff, so you need to get here right now. Opal Lee is here. Now, this is before people knew who Opal and Lee was. You understand?
Okay.
Right after, it was the first year of Juneteenth. It wasn't celebrated worldwide yet. It was coming up. So she was in her moment of just life and living out a history. Can you imagine? Can you imagine as a youth being run out of your town, seeing it burn down, for you to come back years later and walk from Texas to DC to create a national holiday, the first one after Martin Luther King, Juneteenth. So that I had less than an hour to get there, sis, but I got there.
You got there.
And I walked there, and when I got there, because those are my Beyoncés. Those are the people. You understand? Those are my Shebos. And so, and nothing against us, because I love all the others. You got to make sure you say all of that stuff, because B, you could call me too. I'm ready for you too. So, I just went there and ended up conversing with her publicist at the time, who was, her road manager, amazing lady. We stayed in contact. And that year, your girl was on stage performing for Opal Lee. And I would do it all over again. So,
Oh,
and she
wow.
to perform for her while she's sitting there, vibing, and I get to say what the ancestors want to say to her, what
Oh my
we all
gosh.
want to say to her. Like, you can't,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh. Wow.
yeah. So those
In
type of
that
things.
moment, in that
Yeah. I'm
moment,
getting chills just, and I don't
oh,
even know what they do. And then they turn around and say, you are off the chain. Like, come on.
ooh.
I had to tell her, say it again. I need that on recording. I need you to, I said, say that again. Mama openly said. So, yeah. So all of those things, the connections that are made and those that inspire me to keep going, and
Yes.
it's challenging sometimes because sometimes I have to do a solo, going to open mics every week and just keeping the craft alive and well, and then
Mhm.
losing so many people, but turning that
To power.
into power by
Message.
letting them know what they've done while they were here was not in vain. Was not
Oh
in
my
vain.
gosh. Wow.
Yeah. From Asada
Listen.
Shakur, so many, like
Oh my gosh. What a blessing. I'm
Nikki
telling you.
Giovanni, like we'll be here all
Yes.
day. Let me take a sip of tea.
Girl, listen, talk about it. It's such a blessing. And like you said, people want to be you, but they don't know what you've had to endure,
Yeah,
And like you said, it's not an easy journey, but it's all love.
yeah, it is.
You are blessed to be in a place to do exactly what you love to do.
Yes.
And
And we
so
have some stuff coming up. We have some
I know you do. Talk about it. Talk about it.
Hey, so to everyone listening, we know we already know Mama Betty's birthday is November 18th. So November 16th, we are going to be celebrating her. And we have some amazing guests that are coming from Maryland and DC, and
Mhm.
they are amazing performers. I haven't seen them live yet, but I'm partnering with Marcellus from CRC. He's in Long Island, and
Okay.
collectively together, they are going to tear the house down. Well, people say down, but we're going to tear the house up, down, all around. And we're going to have other amazing local performers.
Yes.
Right, Ross Spider-Man, my big brother, is going to be DJing. And we always give shout out to my brother Mello, who was my poetry partner, who transitioned. And that's why I can't stop, because there's so many people that are
Exactly.
not here to fulfill the things that they want to do. So they left a lot on my shoulders. So I gotta do
Listen,
that. I
you'll
gotta
never
do
have
what I
more
gotta
than you
do.
can handle, right?
Yes. So please come out, enjoy, get uplifted. I'll be doing some poetry. It is the Angelic Kreations experience. And yes, you can reach out to me. I know she'll have my information down there as
Can they
far
find
as
it
the
on your website?
website.
It's
Yeah,
up
and
on
then
the so I put it up for
yes.
everybody to see.
Or you can, all platforms with Venmo, Cash App, and Zelle are Angelic Creations, or
Okay.
Karen Yelverton. And it's only $20. You spend that on anything. And I know it's
Absolutely.
a lot going on in the world today. That's why I'm having it before the blackout, because we're going to black out, y'all.
Yes.
We have to
Listen,
use our voices. That's why I'm so happy
talk
to
about
have
it.
this interview at the perfect time,
Absolutely.
because we are in control of the dollar. They
The
cater to
power.
us to
Yes.
spend our dollars. And so
Absolutely.
I'm thankful I'm learned to not live outside my means. And so I'm okay. I'm comfortable. I'm not rocker or fella, but I'm comfortable, and I'm okay with tapping in with what we're gonna do. So don't spend, trust, let's teach them something. I promise if they see you do it, they will follow through. I mean, the children, they have so much. I know they do. And I think that we can do without a little bit if we tap into this blackout. What do you think about that blackout, Germaine?
Listen, I'm all for it. I already started talking about it. Now that's from November 26th,
Mm-hmm.
the day after Black Friday,
Yeah,
all the way through December 2nd.
yeah.
And the thing is, I even talk about it. Y'all can go back and catch some morning brews when we talk about the power series. And definitely one of those powers is the power of our dollar. We are more powerful as a people than we realize. I mean, the wealth that we pour into other communities. I would say yes, we the people, the money that we as Black people, African American people pour into other economies, if we were able to shut that down and pour back into our own, we could change a lot of things and shut down a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yes, and that is Black Friday through December 2nd, hold back your money from going to those places, spending your hard-earned money with people that don't value
Yeah.
you, don't respect you, don't even treat you as 100% a human being.
Yeah.
Stop spending your money with them and pour your money into your own community so it can circulate more than one time within your own community. So,
And nobody's perfect. Like a lot of
no,
times we expect when we go to Black businesses that the red carpet is going to be rolled out and everything is going to be perfect. I really wish people take a moment to stop and realize that it's designed this way. We
that's
just
right.
we tend to rename it. And we
That's
have to
right.
learn, we have to learn and grow from things that occur, because if we can release
Release
disruptive
disruptive.
program, we will win tremendously. I know
That's
that's
right.
right. Yes, yes.
That's
and
right.
and also I want to tap in to say, I have a lot of people I work with from all walks of life. We also can't forget about accessibility, people in with disabilities.
That's
We
right.
cannot forget about our children and adults that that have autism,
Hmm.
that are on the spectrum. We cannot forget about anyone, and so those things are important too, because a lot of times we just be going along with our, no. And let me tell you, there's help. A lot of time we didn't have this, what we have now, and so that's
Absolutely.
why I'm thankful I get to do that too, to go visit people in hospitals, to work with children with autism, to like, it's just, and they are so much smarter than us, like, you
Oh,
know people be forgetting. They be doubting, but they are so much smarter than us. And I just love being in their company and just learning. I just want to encourage us to learn more and not be so stagnant. And if you don't want to learn, that's okay, but don't push on your what you may not want to do
that's right.
onto
On
other
somebody.
people, and
Right.
especially the youth.
That's right.
Just encourage them to explore more, to see more, if you don't want to do that.
That's right. That's right. Listen, there are so many people. There's people commenting over on Instagram, and unfortunately, Instagram is not in the community feed because
Oh, what
Instagram
are they
wants to run
saying?
an
What are they
hour by
saying?
itself when we
Oh,
launch this live, right? We have to manually put Instagram in, right? But I do want to share some of the comments. But if anybody over on Instagram want to jump in on YouTube at Morning Brew with Germaine Live, then you can put all your communication in there. But let's share a few. So we
okay,
have New York Kiana.
okay.
Okay. So New York Kiana. Thank you for my look, thank you for the smile. Okay, I was distracted. I'm sorry. New York Kiana, she's saying the entire part says, "Oh, B, I'm ready for you." Okay. And then she talks about, right, don't hinder others from learning. Absolutely. And so, but yes, I
Yeah,
love the community, the conversation, getting in on the conversation.
yes.
So,
Yes.
but
And there's so many amazing people, that I
yes,
meet along this journey. And I realized I wanted to take everybody with me, I wanted us all to go together, I thought it was gonna, especially when I was doing this type of work, I was like, it's gonna be a party. Everybody's gonna get along, and we're just gonna be
exactly.
like, this is how it's gonna be. And I had to learn that you have
Yeah,
to meet people where they are, you know
absolutely.
what, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And so I'm thankful for all those along. I had to learn to forgive more, because I would be
Yes,
heartbroken, like I was in a relationship, because I was. And so I just had to learn to. So I just want to say thank you to all those that are tapping in, those that have been here from the very beginning, those that have just joined. But just know we are getting started, because we trying to make sure to secure some contracts. Come on,
love it.
NYC
Talk about
DOE.
it.
And we need to get these things together, because it's better to come together to make these things happen, ladies and gentlemen, instead of just trying to do it off on your own, girl. We could do it together. I just want to say that. Yeah, let's tap in, and I hope to see y'all on November 16th. And let's stay in contact, please. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I encourage you to do so, please, and to Instagram, LinkedIn, and let's chat. Let's keep this conversation going, because we are the change and we are the future. And they need us. We need each other.
Absolutely.
And your
So
call is
what's
not a conference call.
that's So give your YouTube, your Instagram, they're all the same under
Yes,
Angelic Creations.
yes. And Kreations is with the K.
All right,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put that connect on all platforms. I'm just gonna put that in here. Okay.
Yes.
So what's next for you? I mean, wait, we didn't even get through. There are so many things that you've accomplished, right? So wait, before we go into what's next for you, wait,
Okay.
we got more to talk about. So you've been awarded and you have accolades from, and you know what? And it's well deserved because we work so hard. And it's not that you're doing it for that, but it's nice when you are recognized. And so I want you to talk about some of your achievements from the President's Lifetime Achievement Award to the Danny Glover Power of Dream Humanitarian Award.
Yes, thank you so much. And once again, that was like boom out of the blue. A lot of times I'm looking over to the right, like, what's going on? What about me over here? Because you see so much, and then God to be like, relax. I'm taking care of
Got
all
you.
of that right here.
I got you.
And I was at the United Nations and was approached, and the woman was, she was, I admire your work. I know what you're doing, and you need to be awarded. And I was like, huh? What? Where? Okay. And I didn't know. And then I was around so many people from all over the continent, from all different parts of Africa. There were kings there, and I was like, well, yes, let's go, not knowing, because a lot of times they don't think that we travel to Africa the way we do, right? So once I let them know, yes, I go to Senegal, I go to Gambia. These are my second homes. And to anybody listening from Africa, come on, let's get it going. Naila, you already know I'm trying to teach and live there at least 6 months out of the year and then be back here. So let's get that happening. Whether it's Jamaica, whether it is Africa, it is where I want to be. And it's time to spread those wings and spread that love, because Germaine, it was cold last night.
Oh my gosh.
Cold here. I was, oh my God. And if it was just cold that little bit, I was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
What is going to happen? So please call me. I'm ready. I'm telling you. She says I'm good. She gave me, come on, y'all. We got.
I love it. I love it.
Let's make sure to tap in for the youth. If you don't know somebody, you may know somebody. Utilize your networking and your resources to open those doors and to make those phone calls, because if we don't do it for each other, it will not be done. It won't be done. If you can see behind me, I was gifted that it says the colored waiting room. That's a real sign from one of my big brothers, Eric Blackwell, from his dad, Mr. Blackwell. And so right next to it is a statue from Ghana. I'm not sorry, from Ghana, from Gambia and Senegal. Okay. So it's like, it's around us, keep it around you. And I just say that to say, all of that helps to keep me going. And on top of that, you see my Aunt Banny. So I keep these people and I keep this around me because it's so helpful to me, because when you walk out the door in New York City, not only are you spending money every time you sneeze, every time you take a few steps, there's so much going on. It's so much that for me, you're constantly on point, like you have to be on guard. And and I'm not saying in a fearful way, but you have to be aware. And so just knowing that I'm on assignment and what I have to do, I know that I'm covered. But I also know, I want to make sure that, hey, pay attention. But I want to encourage us to look out for one another.
Absolutely.
Real simple, a smile, real simple, a resource, real simple, a phone call instead of doing everything on social media. My adults, that's, the kids are born into that, but we can pick up the phone, like I say, Germaine, right? I'll pick up the phone in a minute. And I have to say this. Thank you for always answering the call. I don't want to get emotional because I will, but thank you. We started this journey, I think in 2016, 2017.
Yes.
And you have never failed to answer the call.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's an honor.
That teaches lessons.
It does. The journey has been so beautiful because, just being able to meet people from all walks of life. Every book through HOV Publishing has come through referrals like yourself. And You can't write this stuff. I tell you, the people that God will allow to enter into your space, your life, and then become a part of your life for the rest of your life, it's a beautiful thing. And I love how you champion that. You champion those. You're not ashamed. You're not afraid. You let it be known. I can't do this by myself. This definitely takes a community.
And thank you for sharing that, because a lot of times, and I hope people resonate with this, if not just for me, but for themselves. Mm-hmm. Accept people for who they are. You can't say that you like me like this, but then if I want to talk to you about something and I'm still like this, you don't like that. Accept the person. If I'm passionate like this and you like it, that's who I am. Yes. Accept people for who they are, because Absolutely. It's the same way. It's just now that we're doing this, I'm supposed to go, I don't want to do it that way anymore because to make you feel good. No, accept people for who they are, and if people are being truthful and vulnerable, don't use that against them. Like, I have no problem saying this month is one of those months, but that doesn't mean I'm a changed woman or I'm going to be that. No, it just means recognize that.
Absolutely.
Just see that part, just I'm still the same, but let people be who they are. Now, I love that. How can I not expect you to make sure I'm on point when you're always on point with me? Since we've been working together, if I don't respond, you're going to be like, well, what's going on? If you don't do that, you wouldn't be who you are.
Absolutely.
So, let's, embrace that part too, because that's,
I love that. I love that. Just be authentically you. Don't change. Just be you. Show up, right?
And accept the people for who they are and communicate, because you're not going to agree on everything, and that's okay. I just love us,
Absolutely.
But we got to do a better job at loving us. That's all.
To that.
But we're going to show them right here, because all the people tuned in lead with love. I know they do, and I know they sound like, that girl is crazy. And I'll be like, y'all, because you crazy too, because I came from you. So we all came from the same.
That's beautiful. I love it. Lead with love.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, all right.
Yep.
What's
up next?
We got
some books coming out.
Let's talk about it.
We have some apparel, some creative tools and stuff. And every product is, it's really an extension of the message. Educate.
It's with a purpose. It's with a purpose.
Enlighten, elevate, create, the books, this new book that's coming is going to feed the mind. The apparel represents empowerment, and the creative tools inspire others to find their own voice. It's just a mechanism. A merchandise is a movement through art and business and purpose. And I would say the second volume, it goes deeper, because I'm being a little more vulnerable now, right? And the poetry on demands. It's about growth. It's about forgiveness and releasing joy. It highlights the beauty of evolution, the lessons learned, and the strength we find in being vulnerable. Because I'm always good writing about other stuff, but sometimes writing about myself is not always easy.
Yeah.
Live readings that bring words to life, and poetry on demand. It's amazing how you can take what you love and turn it into a business. And it may not be $1 million yet. You know what I mean? We're getting there. We're working.
Not yet. It's coming.
I got to watch what I say before they be like, she said she did that. Get out my face. So, but I say that to say poetry on demand. Mm-hmm. I remember going to a training right after COVID. And this, he was absolutely amazing. When people are not gatekeepers and they want to share information. And he was like, you got to turn it into a business. And I always knew, but I didn't know how to structure that, Germaine,
Okay.
And we were like, poetry on demand. We was like,
I love that.
Poetry on demand. And at first I was like, I don't want to be telling everybody about it. But no, I was listening to TD Jake's daughter, and she's so freaking amazing. Oh my God. That girl, I could listen to her and just be like, I could just sit there and write while she talked to me all day long. Mm-hmm. And she said, I'm not a gatekeeper. You can have my ideas. You can have my thoughts, but you can never do it the way it was given to me. You will never know the process it took to go. I just be in awe when I watch her, like, That's how people be looking at me, because this how I'm looking at her. Like, she is just so, and it made me realize, even before seeing that, she was just the extra confirmation that share it. So poetry on demand with 10
Yes,
questions,
I
I can
love that.
present something for you and you would think I've known you for all your life.
I
All your
love
life. And it's time to give people their flowers while they can still smell them. Are you
that.
kidding me?
Absolutely.
You know, and we gotta stop, and we gotta remember that this is not easy work. It takes a lot. I think people think that I be just pulling it out my boom boom, you know? And no,
Yeah,
it takes a lot of
it
work.
does, and it
So
takes
respect that.
resources.
Yeah, it's the same way we respect the pastor and the preacher, respect the
Exactly.
poet and the teacher. You know, like,
Exactly.
you know, it's, you can't just say, "Oh, I can't do." You know, no, it's the same. Or find a way to help the person along their journey. It doesn't always have to be monetary. It can be resourceful. It can be books. It can be you lining something up in the future. But yes, the poetry on demand and the original PPP, I like to call myself, public speaking poetry and prose, between the programming and the poems, I'm just peeped out, you know, I'm just
Yeah.
positively poetically, you know, but yeah, all those things. And I'm so thankful, because who knew? You
Who
know,
knew?
who knew?
Absolutely. And
God
you just
knew.
that's it. And you just
God
doing what
knew.
you love to do. You just said
God knew.
yes to the call, right?
Yes.
So listen, New York Kiana over on Instagram says, right, you can steal my sauce, but it won't taste the same.
Oh, yes. I know that's
Yeah.
right.
And but the
As
thing is, you know what? We hold on to things. We hold on to things because we want to protect them. But when it's God given, He wants you to release it, which means He already knows how it's going to be taken care of.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
absolutely. So make sure people you can follow Karen on all platforms at Angelique. I mean Angelic Creations with an S. I had to correct that. Angelic Creations, a K and an S. Who? So what do you want to leave to the young people? You know, when you think about, let me say this. Um, let's talk about legacy a little, right? Do you think about your legacy or do you just do the work? But so also, let's look at ah, let me see. Legacy you're building. You're in the process right now of building legacy just by the work that you're doing and what you're going to leave in the earth. And the one thing I do share with people, even when you are able to take your stories, everybody has a story. Everybody won't take the step to publish their story for the world to have access to it. But you've done just that. So as you continue to build your angelic creations and your Yelverton creations, your library of work, you're leaving legacy in the earth for people, even long after you're no longer here, people to still be able to get you, to get what your vision, what your passion, what your purpose was through those pages, through those words. And so right now, you know, people don't think about legacy, they just do. And it just becomes. And then you find out people, even to this day, there's people that right now they're no longer with us, but you're still able to pick up books. You're still able to be inspired by them, by the words they left behind, by their body of work. And right now, you're doing just that as you're
Those
building.
people, yeah, those people, I mean, they inspire me, and I just can't forget, you
Yeah,
know? And so I think because we've seen so much that sometimes it's becoming like normal, right? So
hmm,
they'll be like, for that day, oh, that person was great and so forth. And I'll be 6 months later, like, no, this person is still great. And, you know, and so I think that comes from faith, you know. Um,
absolutely.
faith is the foundation, you know, in what I do. It wasn't always easy for me to pour back into prayer and to faith in God when I lost my mom, and then other people were just passing away, you know. But I realize now you could try your best to get away from it, but it's going to catch up to you. And
Exactly.
it's either you pay attention and you do what needs to be done, do what needs to be done, or you'll learn the hard way, you know. And I've
Definitely.
seen how art can ministry. to people.
Absolutely.
And I didn't realize that, in spiritual alignment, I create from a place of prayer and purpose
Absolutely.
and power. Every performance is a testimony. Every person is a prayer answered in rhythm. And I didn't realize I could do that. And sometimes I'm speaking and I'll be like, oh, girl, you heard what you just said, And then sometimes I think I'm funny too, right? So I kind of want to do like, there's few things I definitely want to do. I definitely want to do a one-woman show, right? So if anybody out there listening want to help navigate that, I'm working on that. I definitely, there's other things to tap into because laughter is amazing. And when it comes to legacy,
yeah,
I think I'm kind of doing it right now.
You know what?
Because
I
don't know what's going to happen. Right.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if people are going to celebrate me the way I celebrate other people. And I can't bank on that. So that's why I have to do it now. I have to do it now. And that's why I encourage other people to do it, to start where you are with what you have. Don't wait for the perfect time. Just go, because I have to tell myself that. I'm talking to self. Note to self. Nano. You have to make sure to remind yourself that, no matter what, your voice needs to be heard. Right. Speak, record, whatever it is that you want to use your gift for. My sister Stacy, a lot of times I'll be like, yo, she'd be like, I think I'm gonna do a poem. You inspiring me. And I'll be like, well, do it. And I like to hold people to it. Come on, let's do it. And remember, your purpose doesn't need permission.
Say that again.
Your purpose does not need permission.
When you stop looking for validation.
Yes, when you move authentically, the right people and the opportunities will align up. You just have to keep going. And I'm talking to myself too. Talking to myself. Because I didn't even realize, even as a youngin', as you know, I'm only 22, 21 forever.
Hey.
But as when I was growing up, I used to take up for Salt and Pepper and the MCs when people used to talk bad about them. I used to be like, because you know what? We were kind of taught not to appreciate certain things. We were taught to look for that one negative thing, and people would run with it. And I used to be like, no, they'd be like, you don't even know them. But it wasn't that. It was just something within me.
That's right.
That just saw like we didn't have to be that way, Absolutely. And I never entertained that part, like when people would get together, the whole gossip thing. And so as an adult, when I was able to really put a stance on it, it was like, I don't want to know, because I'll tell you this. Mm-hmm. If someone says, oh, so-and-so said this about you, the next question should be, well, what did you say?
Exactly. Did you shut it down, or did you condone it and continue it on?
Clock it, as the kids say, right? Clock it.
Exactly.
And so I say that to say, I love working with the youth and the elders, right? Mm-hmm. But the adults be needing those same things. They be needing that. Exactly. So so that's really for me what it's about. There's amazing people in this world that have survived amazing things. Shout out to Beverly, one of the mothers of the movement. Oh my gosh, she didn't even know that I was watching her and seeing her, after she went through tragedies in her life. You understand? Yeah. More than losing one child, and kept going. And so years later, we get to now tap in, and I get to, connect her with other mothers, because we're not trustworthy when it comes to that healing part, because we got to be sure. But God is great all of the time. God is good.
That's it.
I'm just so thankful, and it's not easy to be like this. I get rest. I go to the gym.
I was just about to ask you that. What's your self-care plan?
Well, I could do better with the rest sometimes, because sometimes this brain be going, girl, and I can't sleep. I'll be like, Germaine, I told Germaine I'm going to have this book done. I'm going to stay up overnight. But then if you get a headache or something, you participated. I think one thing that's really helped me is checking myself.
Yes.
Making sure to look and see, what did I contribute to this situation? Because there's always signs. So drinking water, going to the doctor, even though sometimes I'm like, I don't know, like I don't trust, but keep praying, because I went to a doctor recently and she looked just like me. I can't wait to go back. My new GY, we're gonna do a I have to get special tests because I had family members that had to. So, we're getting my test done. And I walked in that room and saw her. She didn't even know the smile I had on my face. She was looking on like she was a little tired. I was like, you better wake up, girl. I'm happy to be here. But, giving people good reviews throughout my day. Like if something is going right, going to the gym, even if it's just a stretch. Because when I go to the gym, it helps me breathe. I want to encourage us, make sure you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Even though for years I ran track, there were times I really wasn't breathing correctly, and so all of those, because we don't realize we're just going.
Absolutely.
Going. And being okay by yourself.
Yes. Most people don't even want to be in the company of themselves, their own thoughts, and so it's learning to like you. But another thing I realized, because burnout is real, and as hard as we go, we have to remember our bodies are like machines sometimes, but eventually you do have to turn the machine off so it can reboot, so it can get the rest that it needs. And I find myself, and people laugh at me, but my body starts shutting down 8 o'clock. Sometimes I'm asleep in the bed, 8 o'clock, 8:30, but I wake up at like 4 in the morning to get started with my day. And if I'm not careful, and sometimes, when working on different projects and stuff, I find myself up until after midnight, which means I'm almost up 24 hours. The body can't do that like every day. That's just not healthy. Self-care is so important, especially as hard as you go. For everyone else, I always say you can't be good to others if you're not going to be good to yourself, because once you have to sit down, how are you going to help others?
No, and you've always said that. And one thing I admire is your routine, and you're teaching me, as a teaching artist, it's no excuse. I want to do better because I could get a call right now for something tomorrow. Absolutely. And that means I got to prepare and then rearrange everything. And so I admire when you keep to your schedule, because you'll be like, no, girl, I'm up at 4. And I'll be like, oh, I just might be laying down at 4, and so it's so good because you help to inspire me, and people like you that I have in my circle help to inspire me and remind me, because there's times, it could be the middle of the day sometimes, Germaine, and my body will be like, it's time, shut it down. And I'll be like, go and take a nap,
Good
and then
you.
Yes, and I have to do it. And they may not understand that. They be like, she was sleeping. Yes, I was asleep in the middle of the day.
You know what? People don't listen to their body and what their body is saying. So I am so proud of you for, listening to your body. And you know what? It was taught to me, because trust me, I don't always keep a perfect schedule. My coach is like, schedule your 24. Right. And he said, sometimes it's okay to shut down all the noise around you, social media, phones and everything, so you can stay focused to get things accomplished and done. And one of the things is paying attention. The body will speak to you. When it's tired, take a nap. I'm still trying to master that one.
Yes.
That's a part of me feels guilty.
No, but it's beautiful, because also I want to just shout out to all my elders. I love my elders. I say that to say that my mother's friend and my friend is 91 years young. Let me just say that. Y'all heard me? 91. I meet women. God just know I be needing them, right? So the last time I spoke at the UN, it was a woman that spoke before me, 89 years young. And when I was in awe, I was just looking at her. I was like, let me get it together. I do have to speak. But I was just like asking her permission before I spoke. You know what I mean? Giving the elders their respect. Absolutely. I don't care about all that other stuff. Like, enough is enough. And those that say we are not our ancestors, you damn right you're not, because y'all couldn't hang with the ancestors if y'all was the ancestors. So relax a little bit. Don't be so extra. But I bring up the 91-year-old my friend, my mother's friend, Sonia, because every morning she gets up to walk her dog.
I love it.
Every morning, and sometimes too. So now what I've done, and I want to encourage others to do this too, this has helped me, is reach out to someone. We're talking about not spending, right? So maybe do something, connect with a neighbor or somebody you always wanted to say something to that you didn't. So now her and I, we try to go to lunch once a month.
I love that.
Because 91 years young, I want to suck up everything I can from her. I want her to know she's loved and appreciated. She has a daughter, so she doesn't necessarily need me, but I look forward to our monthly connections. Absolutely. Same thing with my god brother and his son. I'm doing better at connecting more with my family, because things happen and we let life happen, and and we don't communicate. I'm gonna speak for me.
Absolutely.
And then I just keep going, and then people pass away and you're like, oh, well, maybe I should have. And so I'm thankful I've been able to do that. Shout out to my family in Philly. Love them to life. I go there as much as I can.
Good for you.
And I know they'd be sick of me but I love them. You know why? There's a poem in almost every part of the home, right? So every time I write something, my cousin Courtney has it there. She has no idea how that makes me feel when I go there and I see it. Because, if I've done something for you and you have it on display somewhere, it just knows that it just
absolutely.
Yeah, it really does. Absolutely. And then I got some people that don't put it up. So, I'm talking about you too. But I have to joke about it because it's not that I'm offended. I'm just who I am, Like I'm excited about the work that I do. And I'm hoping that
unapologetically, listen. So you are going to share a poem today, aren't you?
Let me see. I don't know what the comments say. Let's see. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to say that. Yes, I don't ever really go live. So let me see. We got anybody want to hear some poetry and what poetry means to me?
Yes.
Okay. So are we wrapping it down? Because I keep talking and talking and talking.
So we're gonna wrap it up and we're gonna have you close out with. But before we do, let me say this because I always, like you said, I always like to give thanks to those that support Morning Brew. It is such a blessing, those that will use their hard-earned monies to sow back into purpose, something that they find is helping to build them on their daily journey. So I appreciate so much more than they know for those that decided to say, you know what, I'm going to buy you a coffee. So we do this thing called Buy Me a Coffee, right? Buy Me a Coffee just allows those that are part of the community that may be new to the community or that's a regular in the community to just say, I appreciate what you're doing and we want to sow to help build and keep Morning Brew going forward. So for as little as $1 a day, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Morning Brew with Germaine. And really the monies go back into the program, but also into the community because there's so many people in need that can really use our support. So as little as $1, people don't understand the power in $1. When we pull our dollars together, as we're talking about during blackout, but when we pull our dollars together, we can change so much. So I do appreciate all of you for chiming in. And hey, if you decide you want to support, we welcome you into our community, into our family. So, but now on that note, hold on. Let's get into. Okay, hold on. Let's get into this poem.
Yes, but Germaine, I was gonna run when you were speaking, but I drank all of this tea. I need 30 seconds to use the restroom.
Go ahead. I'm gonna share. So on that note, let me just run. Welcome to Morning Brew with your girl Germaine on Buy Me a Coffee. Every cup you buy helps fuel inspiration, conversations, and creative content for our growing community. So grab a seat, stop by for a coffee break, sip with us, and thank you so much for pouring into purpose with me. Morning Brew, I'll see you in the next coffee break. So, it is such a blessing to have her. And we're going to close out with Karen giving us a poem. So I'm just going to kind of go through our final sip section. So in our final sip section, let me move some of these things off the screen, okay? So in our final sip section, I pretty much want to thank her, but I'll thank her when she gets back. But Karen reminds us that poetry is not a luxury. It's a lifeline. And when offered with intention, it becomes a bridge between souls. So today, let her story inspire your own, to pick up your pen, to reclaim your voice, to create from the depth of your being. Because as Karen shows us, when your gifts meet your calling, every line becomes legacy. So I want you to take us away with your poem. And I appreciate you so much for taking the time, stopping by, anytime. Morning Brew, you are a family. You are family. You are part of Hope of Vision family. You are now, listen, new family with Morning Brew. So you are always welcome, especially when book 2 comes out. And before listen, let me just put this up because people can still go right to your website and they can purchase. You can find everything on her website at angeliccreations.com. Get your copy of your book. This is the first volume, but she is working on her second one and it is soon to hit the market. So make sure you get the first one, okay? And then also check out the new things that's coming with her merchandising line with a purpose. So, all right. She about to take us away.
And
You about
November
to take us away?
16th, don't forget the November 16th,
yes,
everyone.
Hold on. I want to run that.
Those that don't want to go to the website for whatever reason, you can always reach out to me. You could DM me on all platforms as well. So let's get it.
Let me put that up.
I never like to give a little disclosure, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Okay, that's what we do. My DNA spells ART. A world without poetry is inhumane, as silence maintains a shattered ghost with chains. Poetically a truth so deep, my vibrational thoughts have vibrational energy on repeat. Flying in the high, defying all odds in the sky. If poetry didn't exist, how could I? I mean, after all, I was nursed on the birth milk of Nikki and Maya. Shamelo Durant birthed me. Gil took me to the moon, while Langston took me on his shoulders as we climbed the crystal steps. Collectively, I speak plurally because you killed them too. This is not just about me. What about you? When I think of poetry, I think of the God within me. It is that simple, fundamental. I was put here for this. You asked me, a world without poetry? Okay. Without it, I'd be a dog. Wagging my tail, content and all. For dogs, the world protects and provides for. For dogs, we open grand doors. They are under your command and at your beck and call. They sleep in the bed with you. You kiss them all in the mouth. Airline travels, luxury hotels, baby carriages. For dogs, rain, sleet, or shine. You walk them, and some of y'all clean up after them 2, 3, 4 times. Oh, harm a dog, your world will be destroyed. You know, I would finally know what it's like to be adored. Unfortunately, I would have to be on all fours. But dogs don't see color, only black and white. Thus, no art in sight. For every instance of my life, a revelation, we are the manifestation of God's existence and his creation through demonstrating our ability to create art. What is more permanent than ceasing to exist? You try to take this from me, you try to kill me. I am multi-layered, complex. I am not monolithic. There are many elements and assets and facets to who I am. You put them all in a pot, you pour them down. What do you have? Art. Can you live in a world without it? I said, can you live in silence without it? You see, these aren't just words, they are frequencies. You take that away, what is left? Fahrenheit 451, death. No poetry, no art, no music. You know, that's beyond my comprehension. Not to mention that no poet says nothing new. You see, there's nothing new to be said. The beauty in this, I said the absolute beauty in this, it makes it so beautiful because we see the same thing through our lenses in hopes that the perspective will touch you, heal you, hope you. I mean, think about it for a second. No Sade, no Billie Holiday, no Nina Simone, no Anita Baker, no MJ, no Prince. Come on, y'all. No Biggie, no Aaliyah. Mama may have, and Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's a poem. You see, every song, every lyric, music is poetry. I said music is poetry. Every play, every photograph is a poem. Without it, I wouldn't be but death of a speck of dust. My parents populated and conceived me. Before I chose the reality, it was given to me. And you see, it healed me. Where would I be? Where would I be? My only truth, and you could be convinced that this is not, but the reality is, without this, I am not. Thank you.
Ooh. Wow. That was a blessing for us. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for closing out. Wow.
Thank you.
It's a lot of power in that little frame of yours.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you so
God
much for
bless you
blessing
too.
us. Thank you so much for just sharing your gift with us on Morning Brew with Germaine. Anytime. You know, we pray your strength. We pray, you know, that God will bless you immensely and that he will open up every opportunity globally for you that gives you your heart's desire for you to be able to share the message with others. And you know what is just pure love. And you feel it. So
Thank you.
keep being you.
Thank you. And I, you know, every time it's so many feelings you go through, like you know, just speaking about all of them, it just, I know that the spirit is real. I know that that all resonates. And so even when I don't think I'm sure, you know, all I have to do is keep the faith and, you know, be steadfast.
Absolutely.
So thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This was great. I feel so at home. I really do. And I'm so letting the people know. I gotta tell them, if you, the reason why I sent you the information this morning, because I just got it, right, Germaine? Because they was like,
yes,
so
I just sent it to her, so she was obedient to get it out.
Yes.
So thank you. And you know what? I always say the community is open for everyone to join Morning Brew with Germaine. So please make sure you stop by YouTube and, you know, subscribe to the community. And like I said, this is Karen's first time, but it definitely won't be her last time. You know, she has a lot going on and we want to make sure that people know about it.
Yes. And give us some feedback. I can't wait to, because I'll get to watch this, right? And share it with people.
Yes. And that's the thing. If people miss the live, they can go back anytime.
And I almost forgot. Oh my gosh, I would be remiss. That's why I got to keep a little list, because I'll be forgetting. All right, y'all. It's coming up again. Another great opportunity I had. And I did not forget Terrence. Please don't get me. But Frederick Douglass, I will be celebrating his 208th birthday this year. I will make sure, I don't have the website in front of me, Terrence, please don't get me, but Frederick Douglass, Terrence Bailey, if you go to his YouTube or anything, all the information is there. I wish I could pull up the website real quick, but I will make sure, if you have it, that is going to be happening in February for his birthday. You can join us, you can tap in, you can donate. Like we're saying,
yes,
we're not spending money on those things, but we can spend money on that. So what I will make sure to do is to give you the link so we can add it to this. Absolutely. And so people will know exactly what that is. So Terrence, oh Lord, thank you, Jesus. I'm glad I didn't forget, because it's so much you don't want to forget, you know, the stuff that's up and coming that is so profound and powerful, because it's, like I said, and that's part of the distractions. They keep us distracted so we can't focus on the stuff.
Exactly.
I got you there, Terrence. We did that. All right. Frederick Douglass' 208th birthday. Don't forget about that. You could donate any amount of money. Okay.
Wow.
But I will be there performing, and we put the link in there. Don't forget about November 16th. Come show love and support. $20. That's nothing for us. We spend that as soon as we open our eyes.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's about making sure we take care of the talent that is coming from out of town. That's all. Absolutely.
And they can get all this information also through your social medias at Angelic Kreations, as well as your website.
Yes.
At angeliccreations.com. So please make sure that you go in and that you support. So, girl, we could be here all day.
I
know we got a
know
busy
this was
schedule.
so fun. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that everyone enjoyed. I enjoyed this so much. So
Yes.
I know we got other work to do, right? We'd be like, let me get another cup of tea. But I had two. That's why I had to use the bathroom trying to spread the love with Gambia and my sister Venus. But you see, the
Yes.
small gifts go such a long way. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Shout out to
Hey,
my
if
sister
you
A
like,
too.
listen, for those out there, we are going to be running this. I don't know if it's a campaign, a sponsor. You can sponsor just part of the show by just sending a mug in. I'll make sure that that's available so we can use your mug to advertise
Yes,
you,
yes.
you know? So anyway, thank you so much. Guys, thank you for sticking with us, staying with us. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for being a part of the community and the conversation. And once again, hey, Morning Brew with Germaine. We're here Monday through Friday from 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, 5 days, and it's live 5 days a week. So stop by for coffee, okay? Stop by for coffee and conversation. So until the next time we meet, yes. And stay tuned because book 2 is on its way.
Absolutely. See y'all November 16th.
Yes, November 16th. Go to her website, angeliccreations.com. Get all the information. Talk to you soon. Have a great one. Stand by, okay?